Father Pope Benedict XVI made an historic announcement in response to numerous requests over the years. He has established an ordinariate in the United States to welcome Anglican groups and clergy who wish to become Catholic. The creation of the Ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter begins a new chapter in the life of the Catholic Church here, and I welcome its establishment with great joy. Some of you may be aware that an Ordinariate in England was already established a year ago, so this is the second one that Rome has established since Anglicanorum Cecibus, which is the document put out 2 years ago by the Holy See, has come into effect. Perfect. The Ordinariate, which is similar to a Catholic diocese, though national in scope, will be based here in Houston, Texas, but will include parishes, groups, and individuals of the Anglican heritage from across the country. These parishes and clergy will be fully Roman Catholic and will be able to retain their Anglican traditions and be part of an Ordinariate with other similar parishes. His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI has named Father Jeffrey Steenson to lead the Ordinariate. I have known Father Steenson since 2009, when he began his teaching ministry here in Houston. He is a wise and prudent administrator who will bring a vibrant intellect and great sense of humility to his role as head of the Ordinariate. He has a very deep sense of the meaning of the Church. Father Steenson is not only an outstanding patristic scholar, which would make him my #1 in any case, but in addition, he is a priest with a very strong pastoral sense and abiding respect for all people. He will surely be an effective, kind, and joyful leader who will love and will guide God's people with the attitude of Christ. On behalf of the U.S. bishops, I pledge our personal support for the success of this new Ordinariate.
On behalf of so many pilgrims of Catholic unity who have looked forward to this day, I wish to thank His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI for this priceless gift, the personal Ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter under the patronage of Our Lady of Walsingham. I pray that we who will come into full communion through this Ordinariate will bring the Holy Father much joy in our love and our faithful service to the Church. To His Eminence Donald Cardinal Wuerl and His Excellencies Kevin Van of Fort Worth and Robert McManus of Worcester, thank you for laying this good foundation for the Ordinariate. To His Eminence Daniel Cardinal DiNardo, thank you for your generous hospitality in providing for our principal church and also a place in the University of St. Thomas and St. Mary's Seminary for the formation of our future clergy. And a personal note to His Excellency Archbishop Michael Sheehan from Santa Fe, who brought me into the church and ordained me. My wife and I love you dearly. You all represent so many people who have worked so hard to bring the Holy Father's vision to reality. I ask your prayers for me and for those who will become members of the Ordinariate. There is so much to learn, and it is a steep learning curve. Be patient with us as we embark on this journey. Pray that we may strive to learn the faith, laws, and culture of the Catholic Church with humility and good cheer. But pray also that we do not forget who we are and where we have come from, for we have been formed in the beautiful and noble Anglican tradition. The Holy Father has asked us to bring this patrimony with us, to maintain the liturgical, spiritual, and pastoral traditions of the Anglican Communion within the Catholic Church as a precious gift nourishing the members of the Ordinariate and as a treasure to be shared. And here is one thing I earnestly desire to share with you at the outset. Anglican spirituality has always emphasized the need to be gentlemanly in all of our relationships. May you always see in us this virtue of courtesy. The parishes and communities of the Ordinariate have been called not to live in relative isolation, but to be fully engaged in the life of the local diocese, not to be assimilated, but to be integrated into the rich life of the Catholic Church. The Ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter must, above all else, be an effective instrument for evangelization. But Jesus taught us that the unity of the Christian people is the essential condition for evangelization. So this must be our hallmark: to build bridges, to be an instrument of peace and reconciliation, to be a sign of what Christian unity might look like. And from Philippians 4:4, Gaudete in Domino semper, or in English, which is what we're supposed to be saying, rejoice in the Lord always. We strive to be joyful and happy Catholics. The establishment of the personal ordinariate is an historic moment in the history of the Church. For perhaps the first time since the Reformation in the 16th century, a corporate structure has been given to assist those who in conscience seek to return to the fold of St. Peter and his successors. But I would like to go back a little further, to the end of the 6th century, to see that this is not such a new thing. Pope Gregory the Great wrote to St. Augustine, the first Archbishop of Canterbury, who was recently arrived on the shores of England, Britain, from Rome. And Pope Gregory urges his missionary bishop, St. Augustine, always to be a gracious and patient pastor to those he gathers to be his flock. Anglicans love to read these letters, preserved in the Venerable Bede's Ecclesiastical History of the English Nation, for they are a great witness to how the Church gathers her people from many different cultures and lands. The decree which this day establishes the Ordinariate begins with these words: the supreme law of the Church is the salvation of souls. As such, throughout its history, the Church has always found the pastoral and juridical means to care for the good of the people. In what Pope Benedict has given us today, I hear the voice of Pope Gregory the Great. For things are not to be loved for the sake of places, but places for the sake of good things. What a beautiful testimony to all that Catholic Christianity is. Thank you very much.
I was asked by the Holy See in the Bishops' Conference to become a member of the Anglican Chadibus Commission. And now, I think most of you know, I am the Ecclesiastical Delegate for the Pastoral provision. Both of these are distinct, yet I believe complementary expressions in the life of the Church of the will of Christ himself, when he prayed, as we know in St. John's Gospel, that all may be one. They reflect the quest and the call for full communion with the Catholic Church, and I also believe the opportunity to give a witness of the joy and peace that come from the journey to full communion with the Church. I am also a canon lawyer, and one of the last canons in the Code of Canon Law is the supreme law is about the salvation of souls. And that's part of who we are, what we must